Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. Today we are flying the MilViz King Air 350. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, 350, and I'm just quickly gonna check it out, but that's the Super King Air, right? So I guess it's a bit, let me just check. They're just part of the King Air family, but they were, I guess, called previously at least Super King Air. Maybe it's a longer model, right, or something, a stretched version, but yeah. Not too or I don't have too much background that, and unfortunately, but it's a very nice aircraft, this MilViz one. It was quite expensive when it came out, but luckily I got it as a freeware. It is, and I'm trying to think and choose my words carefully, but I do think this is the second best kind of airline, kind of, let's say, transport kind of plane that you can get in terms of turboprops for P3D, at least in terms of version 5. I mean, the best one is of course the Majestic. That's I mean, there's no arguing in that regard, but I think this is the second, or the best one you can I mean, the Fokker 27 is pretty good, and there is and I guess it's the King Air by Flight 1, but I think this MilViz one is the best in terms of, and now we're in the narrow segment of turboprop airliners for P3D. So it's a very good aircraft, very nicely implemented. And we are here at Phoenix, the main international airport in Arizona, Phoenix, right? And we are going to be flying to Palm Springs in California, and we are flying with the Up livery, Wheels Up, which I think is some sort of lease company that, you know, leases these King Airs for different kind of operations, if I'm not mistaken. It was the most reasonable livery I could find. I was thinking of doing maybe the Navy or Air Force livery, but or the Army livery, but I felt this one was more appropriate since I don't really have any Army bases to fly to. And talking about scenery, this is the flight beam Phoenix, so it's very nice scenery. A bit of mismatch with the surrounding living airports, Arizona, Photoreel and Autogen. Need to fix that at some point. So there's some Autogen lacking on the outsides of the airfield or airport. And then we're flying to True Earth, South California, with Palm Springs, brought to you by Orbex, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's an in-house development. But yeah, let's get jumping in. First things first, I just need to do my profile, because I don't think I have a profile for this one with the thrust levers. So I need to do a profile specific, and I need to do that one, and then OK. So let me just see now. And the reason why I did that is because I want to just check that the props are working. You can see they're working. So this is a bit of a hassle with this aircraft. It's not perfect with the idle. Can't really get them into the detent, but at least I can get the reverse, the idle, all of that. So it should work. And then what else? Good to mention, you need to remove the weather radar. That will lead to instant CTDs, and you basically just do that by removing one DLL file, the weather radar one. Not too hard to to miss or change the name on that. I haven't looked into incorporating any other weather radar yet, but that's, yeah, a bit of a bummer. I don't know why MilViz never, well, I guess they went to Microsoft Flight Sim, so they just kind of cut their losses in that regard, but still sad. And also the fuel, I don't think the fuel one works, or maybe it does work, but it's a bit buggy, so I think I'll just do the fuel and payload. I'm just gonna check, because you have this system, the MVMs. So let me just have a look at that, and you can then go here and tweak your aircraft controls and stuff, visuals of course. if you want the chocks, pitot covers, all of that you can kind of remove. I haven't really tweaked that. And let me see load. So here you can do it like the main loads. But I think you need to do this before you're in the aircraft. Because for example, well, let me just check. Yeah, you have to select the seats and then put the specific weight. But I guess we could try, but you can't see that it's not the best load manager, this one. So I'm just gonna close it for now. And what I'll do instead is I'll use the in-game one, even though it's not the best one. In terms of fuel, we're almost at the level we should be. I'm gonna go a bit down on these ones. So let's see. Yeah, now we're at the right fuel level. The gross weight, we're quite a bit less. We should be at a gross weight of 14,000 basically. So I'm just gonna use this and then I'll tweak. So something around that I think should be enough. Because then we have about 11,500 in zero fuel weight. So there we go. I think I have the sounds on, even though I can't really hear anything. Let me just check if I have... Yeah, I probably had muted my speakers. So let me just... Can't really hear. But the way we can, I'm gonna remove... Or actually, before we go inside, I just want to mention that the outside looks very nice. It's a very well done aircraft in terms of texturing. It's not a big aircraft. It's like a regional turboprop, but it's you know, it's very nicely done in terms of texturing. I wish MilViz would have made more for Prepar3d version 5. They could have really become like a huge developer in that regard. I still think they do like the commercial side, but yeah, not for us mere mortals, unfortunately. Okay, so let me just jump inside and now let's check. Do I have any sounds? That's the... I'm gonna check my sound and just see if... Yeah, we should have sounds. I think we have sounds. Let's see. I'll notice it once I ask for the... There we go. Now we have sounds. So I'm immediately asked for the GPU, and we get it on the outside. You can also hear, you know, set chocks, for example, pitot covers, engine covers, all that kind of cool stuff. I can quickly show you the engine covers, for example. Did that do anything? Maybe that didn't. Okay. Oh well. Not too big of a deal. Maybe you can only do that if you don't have the ground power or something. So yeah, in terms of the inside, very nice modeled. Let's see, we have the panel lights. You can get the instrumental panel lights working if I am not totally mistaken. I think you need the ground power for that. There we go. So you have very nice cockpit lighting. You have a nice FMC. It's actually the same one as the one in the Coronado ATR. I was like thinking for myself, maybe I could switch this one, because this one is much higher fidelity, right? And it's more, you know, you can see the screens, right? This reminds you a bit more of the ATR, the 600 model, right? Not with the small screens, which is a bit different. We do have a back, or a, what would you call it, the cabin, right? Which seems to be a more exclusive cabin. I doubt that this seems more like a, well, not VIP, but a nicer kind of I guess you could have a different layout on the inside, right? With more seats instead. I haven't been able to figure out if you can tweak that. I don't think you can though, so that's just something to be aware of. You can open the doors, so that's pretty cool. Very nice in terms of, you know, you have the exterior very nicely modeled from the interior model, which I always give high praises for. As you can see though, it's a fake exterior though. Very interesting that they would have gone with that. I do wonder if this front changes color depending on the livery. Could be a bit weird otherwise. I know the Aerosoft one doesn't, the A330, so that's a bit of a bummer. Let's see if we have any GSX for this one. I'm just gonna ask for a... Oh, well, look at that. We do have GSX. Do we have any form of cargo hold? Is that where you put the... Okay, so it's these two. I guess you would put the baggage on the inside, I assume. We're only supposed to have 7 passengers, so not gonna be not that many. We need to put on the avionics power as well. There's like very thorough checklists on what you need to do. I haven't actually flown this one a lot. I just thought it would be nice to do something different. It's pretty bad availability of liveries, so that's one thing to be aware of. But there's some, so you can do some nice operations. For example, you have the Air Inuit that's included with the package. Let's see. What's the S? Is that one I never checked? Let me see. The S is one. I guess should be on, because I guess that's tied to some of these screens, maybe. Or the alt. I don't know what exactly it does. But okay, unfortunately the sound goes away when I use my different when I use my different screen, so that we'll just have to live with, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a bit it's a tad bit annoying, which I can agree to. In terms of getting things started, it's very simple, so we don't have to spend too much time on that. We can instead actually just kind of get people boarding. We can do the Pack X. Let me just have a look at the flight plan. 24,000 feet, we're going quite high up. We're only supposed to have 7 persons, so maybe that back the amount of seats were sufficient, right? 070, so a bit different. Flight number. I'm just gonna put the block time from sim brief. Let's see if we do have anything for this aircraft. If we do not, I guess the best one would be maybe the Saab, even though the Saab is a larger aircraft. We can just do that one. I'm just gonna put like 12 people because it doesn't really matter. We don't really have any boarding music for this one, so let's see if we have something something nice. Epic, nah, we just want to do something very easy. We can just do the Walker Air one, and then safety. We can just do the generic one. We'll start the boarding, attach push tug now. I don't think we'll need to attach it. I mean, we're at the kind of general aviation parking. We can board crew, cause why not? Let me see where this truck drives. Huh. Not the best GSX profile. I'll give some critique in that regard, but okay. This one I tried to kind of follow, make sure that these aren't on or there's no yellow lights when side takeoff. Here you have the rudder trim and the aileron trim, I think. Yeah, and then the elevator trim. Gotta put or lower the volume a bit. This flight should mainly at least work in terms of giving you the ability to do a flight from A to B, kinda. Okay, so that's how we set the position in it. You need to press twice here, because otherwise you will have the yellow warning below. In terms of route, we can just put it in here. An alternate, we can also put that. So, Los Angeles. And we can do the performance in it.
We're ready to go when you are.
And actually this one, now that I realized, I don't think... I do wonder if we have even a nice... because I'm wondering the bow passenger cargo. I'm wondering if we can even get this to right. This is how... Zero fuel weight, we can do that. Manual fuel, and what was that? Was like 2005. Yeah, okay. Now we seem to have the correct cruising altitude, 24. So we can cruise at quite a high altitude. We can execute that one. So we have the performance in it, the legs. So we want to start with the departure. We're departing from runway 7 left. And we are taking the keys, and now I realized I haven't updated the nav date on this, but hopefully it should be good enough. We should take the Herbert transition. There's always something you miss, right? I'm gonna try to use Prepar3d. I think it works very nicely in the US. Most places at least, and not always. Of course, it's always a truth with a modification when it comes to flight simming. At least this aircraft can get like the best turboprop in terms of freeware, right? And let me just see, because we're flying the up, what was it called? The wheels up. Okay, let's use that as our call sign. I'm not sure we want to land with the wheels up, but we do wheels up. We're not a heavy, so I'll save that. Flight plan import, and then I'll show you the Prepar3d just so you can kind of get a better view of our departure and arrival. I'm gonna keep this on my other screen, and then I'm just gonna make sure we can do all these. I'm gonna execute there, and we'll go to legs page and just make sure, okay, Herbert, and then from Herbert we want to go direct to Karev, then from Karev we want to go with a, and now I'm actually wondering, okay, here it might be easiest, right, to do the, so J212, as you can see this is much better than the than the Carnado, the Carnado FMC. So I can strongly recommend it. Gonna check if I can implement this in the Carnado would be as well, but I highly doubt it. There'll be some issues, right? Getting the autopilot and those sort of things to work. But would be really nice if you could get it to work, right? Because this one is the kind of fidelity you would expect, right, with a paper aircraft. And this one was, back in the day, a very expensive one, if I don't misremember, like $70 or something. So crazy expensive, maybe a bit too expensive for me to recommend it if it would have been at that price point. But yeah, at least you are aware of it. We have the RNAV. We can do the VR as well, but maybe we can try the RNAV. Not that I'm too good at doing those anyway, we should just be following it. Stars, DCAS. Let's see which one we select. We can start here with the SID. So basically I always do the pilot to ADC just to make sure we're getting the right one. That was the Keynes. With the transition to Herbert. This one is a bit more updated. We're then doing the stars, 3-1 left. We are doing the Shibono, with the transition of a DCAS. And then we're doing the approach with the, okay, and this one was the one I was interested in checking. So Baldi, let me see what's the last one, that's Sebono. So with the Sebono, right? And that should just give us an RNAV all the way in like this. And then you have the missed approach that goes out. Good. We can connect to the sim.
Phoenix Sky Harbor International Information.
I'm gonna switch that one to the clearance. We can get from Active Sky all the ADIS information we need. I'll file the flight plan as well. And then I'm just gonna zoom in quickly because I want to know where we're at. 7 left. It's very close to us, fortunately, so we can just go back to the left and then cross one runway. And then we'll be on the correct one, because there's 2 runways on this one, 7 right, 7 left. And then you have runway 8 on the other side. Okay, that looks good. Let's just see that we do it right here. Shibono. Execute. What's this? Arrival data. Okay, so you can do it like the approach, that sort of things, put these information in. That's very nice. Like I said, I'm not too used to this this aircraft, so you know I'm missing some aspects by certain, but I do hope you can see that database is quite old. I need to update that, but at least I'm hoping to give a pretty, at least a somewhat solid kind of view of it. Let me see. I'm just checking all these pages just to make sure we have everything kind of set up. Okay, we have FMC set. You can change here as well the nav source, and then you tweak. In terms of baro, let's check that. No winds, temperature 21, altimeter 10, or 2, sorry, we're in the US now. 2998. There's of lights we should have put on some of them, but they're a bit hard to see. So we have the nav, I'll do the recognition. We can put the speaker as well because we're gonna be starting up soon. In terms of other things to do, we could of course check our flight plan, but it does seem to be reasonable. Not sure if that one changed. I think we have the ride, we can do the flight directors. Then let's wait with the rest. Let me just think if there's something else we need to start. We have the bleeds, which we can start at a later point. Once we start the engines. These rudder boosts, for example, as well. But let's close all the doors. Seems like we're ready. Okay. Wheels up 4003. We're ready to copy IFR clearance. Let's put this to nav. How high? Yeah, that's the right. 240.
Wheels up 4003 is cleared to Kilo Papa Sierra Papa, climb via the Keynes 3 departure, with the HRRBR transition,
Okay, so they're giving us direct up to the
flight level 240.
To the altitude we want to go.
Departure on 119.2. Squawk 3402.
Okay, let's see. And here you can check the bus select. Guess we can put on the interior master.
Altimeter is 29908, ground on 119.75, wheels up 4003.
Okay, wheels up 403. Yeah, what was the squawk though? I totally blanked out there. 3402. 3402. Let's see if we can change it. I think you can see it here. 3402. There we go. TARA. So that should give us the traffic. Is it off or is it? Let me check here. Okay, now we have it. Now we have it on. Okay, so there we go. Then you would have weather radar here, right? That you could tweak stuff if you wanted. Very interesting with like 3 screens. This one I guess have the engine info. These condition levers or the let me move. Or the prop levers actually, these should be up to I think max. These ones can go to idle for engine start. Wheels up 4003, ready for pushback.
Wheels up 4003, pushback approved.
Pushback
Pushback.
approved.
Sorry,
Wheels
I
up
just need to find the
4003.
right. I have so many viewpoints. Wheels up 4003, ready for engine start.
Wheels up 4003, engine start approved.
Okay, and we can start the
Start
engines.
approved. Wheels up
We're not gonna use
4003.
GSX or similar. And the way I'm just gonna set the trim as well. I think this is the takeoff band that you wanna be within. So we can start with the left engine. You'll see the values going up. You can see it spinning here. So not very kind of fancy what you need to do in order to get it to start. Beautifully rendered though. Not sure you would need a flight attendant with such a small aircraft, but let's say we have one. Because why not? And then we can do the right engine, since the left one is stable. Let's see, yeah, so that's the right one. Okay, so yeah, we need to be a bit careful so we maintain the idle detent.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Our crew members are committed to ensuring your comfort and above all, your safety. We'd like to take a few minutes
Okay.
You already may be familiar with many of these
So we have a
procedures.
nice Australian
Carry your
voice.
attention during
Or I think it's Australian.
starts with your seatbelt. Whenever the seatbelt light is turned on, your
Okay,
seatbelt
and now let's
must
see
be
if I can do this
fastened low
correctly.
and tight
So what
across
you
your
need to
lap.
have is the rudder
Simply
boost, that should
slide the
be
red ring
on.
into the buckle and adjust by
That's
pulling
probably
on
one
the
of the
loose
lights.
end
You'll
of
see
the
that
strap,
there's a lot of
lifting the buckle
not
to
armed.
release. During the flight, the captain may turn off the
You wanna
fasten
keep these.
seatbelt
This is
sign.
the
However, for your safety,
bleeds.
we'd like you to keep
The
your
pitot
seatbelt
heats are
fastened
down
whenever
here.
seated and while sleeping.
We can put the taxi lights on as
In
well.
case of an
And then we'll do the
emergency, it is
strobe and
important that
landings
you know
once we get
how to exit the
closer.
aircraft as quickly as possible. This
Now I
aircraft has
realize we
emergency
don't have
exits, each one with
any
a red and white exit sign.
V1s or similar
Now would
set.
be a good time to take a moment and locate the two exits nearest you.
And
Keeping
I
in mind that
do
your nearest
wonder
exit may be behind
where
you.
you set
All doors are equipped with evacuation slide rafts, which may
that.
be
You would think
detached
it's
and used as
here, right?
flotation devices. If evacuation is necessary and cabin visibility is reduced, aisle path lighting will illuminate. A change in colour or exit sign will indicate you have reached an exit. Our cabin is pressurised at a comfortable rate. If we experience a sudden
We can even
decrease
set
of
the
cabin
VNAV
pressure,
setup
an
here,
oxygen
right?
mask will appear from the compartment above your seat.
Fuel
Reach up and pull the
management.
mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen.
For
Place the
example, our
mask over your nose
reserves.
and mouth
We could
and
set that
tighten the elastic
here.
band around your head by pulling on either side
That's
and breathe normally.
800.
Although oxygen will flow through the mask, the plastic bag may not inflate. Remember to put your mask on before helping other passengers. Life vests are located in plastic bags beneath or in some cases between each seat. Pull on the fabric strap to release the vest. Pull it over your head while placing your arms through the side straps. Pull the strap firmly to expose the back panel and tighten by pulling out on the yellow tabs. Inflate just prior
Well,
to exiting
doesn't
the
really matter
aircraft
if we
by
set the
pulling the roof
V1
tab
speeds.
or
It's
by
quite...
manually blowing through the tubes and shoulder
We
levers.
have enough runway,
The
right,
bottom
to just
locator can
go
be
pretty
illuminated by pulling
damn
on the
high, and I
mask
don't think we
tab.
should see any failures, at
Every
least to
member of
my
our
knowledge.
crew is highly trained in emergency procedures. For
Let me see.
everyone's
The other thing
safety,
we need to
please
do is
follow
we need to
all crew
go
member instructions and observe posted and lighted
these ones
information signs.
down.
Please remember, floating is not permitted on this
Out of
aircraft. All of our
feathering.
latitudes are equipped with float detection systems and federal law prohibits tamper with, disabling or
That one should be
destroying these
armed.
systems. The use of personal
Oxygen is
cellular
not
cell
armed
phones is permitted on board while the aircraft door
for
is open.
some
When
reason.
the aircraft door is closed, your phone must be turned off for the duration of the flight. Some personal electronic devices are prohibited while on board the
That
aircraft.
should be
Once
armed.
airborne, you will be advised when the use of approved devices such as personal
Let
computers
me just
and
see if
compact
I
displays
know
is
which one it
permitted.
is.
A complete list of approved devices may be found in the magazine located in the seat back pocket in front of you. We'll be taking off momentarily, so please make sure that your tray tables, seat backs and footrests are in their upright and stowed position, and that all carry-on baggage is properly stowed, either in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. Remember that the overhead bins should be opened slowly and carefully, as the contents may shift around during the flight. We
Oh wait,
also
I think
recommend
it's
that all
this one
passengers take
here.
a moment to review the illustrations provided in the safety information card, which you'll find in
Yeah,
the seat back
sorry
pocket.
about that.
If
Okay,
you
and then
have
the
any
last
questions
thing
about
is
any important safety and evacuation
these
procedures, please
generators.
ask a crew member. Thank you for your attention and
So
cooperation.
you
All
reset
of us
them.
at this airline
There we go.
appreciate the
And
opportunity
now
of
we
showing
should be
you how
able
committed
to
we are to making this and every
shut off the
flight
external
as safe
power
and as comfortable as possible.
and remove it. So now you can see we should not have the chocks can be removed. Oh, it was being removed. Ah, typical me. So we should have lost that one. Master caution. Maybe it just takes a while for the ground one to remove. Let's see, high idle I guess you want to have for the takeoff. Why can't we get that GPU to be removed? There we go. Now it seems to be gone. Oh, we're actually having this on. We're not on the idle detent, so we're going backwards. Let's see if we can get this working. Okay. Wheels up 4003, ready to taxi. So we just turn like this and get just want to make sure we have a nice idle.
Runway 07 left via taxiways Foxtrot Bravo Oscar Hotel.
And I'm just
Hotel
quickly
3,
gonna
Golf 3,
change the
Foxtrot,
rudder tab a bit,
Foxtrot
because I
3,
do think they
hold
all,
short runway 07 right,
a bit like the
and runway
Majestic, they wanna
07 left,
pull to the
wheels up
left
4003.
due to the props spinning. I think 5 nautical miles should be a good range for this one. I think we can keep the lights on. It's a bit hard to see some of these what are they called? Knobs otherwise. We can go
Cross
one
runway
flap.
07 right, wheels up 4003.
Let me just check what they are talking about in terms of taxiing. Okay, I see how they want us to taxi. They want us to cross here. Since we'll be crossing a runway, we can put on the strobe and the landing lights. Looks like there's some military aircraft. Actually, I just realized that my where's all the aircrafts? Traffic controller. There's always something not working right. Let me just see if I can get them back in. And the first thing I want to check is usually the flight planner. And not for that reason, just to check that these are correctly set. Okay, nothing to change there. Oh, we're supposed to have 26 aircraft around us, but let me see if we have... And I'm just quickly gonna start the traffic controller. See if maybe it's just an error, because it has been working otherwise. This could also be due to that Orbex thing I had happen to me. It's not the end of the world, we can fly without the AI aircraft, but it's always cool to see them, right? Okay, so now we have the traffic controller working. Always, everything's always good in the simulator world until something breaks, right? Like this unfortunate Orbex incident. Okay, and we're taxiing quite nicely. A bit late on our turns, being a bit sloppy. Could be worse though. Still not seeing any aircraft. I guess it's because it's loading. So let's see. What we should be preparing for is though our takeoff. Okay, contact tower.
8.7, wheels up 4003.
Wheels up 4003, ready for takeoff. Wheels up 4003, ready for takeoff. So slow to load. Well, we won't get an aircraft at this airport, but maybe at our destination. Okay, so let's I was hoping to see how many aircraft we would have here, but oh well, not the end of the world. Okay, let's line up and let's just think quickly that I have everything set up. I don't think there's an auto brake. I don't think there is anything else. We have the right set here in terms of like what we should climb. We should have the yaw dampener on, of course. I usually do the VS, 'cause that should give us some pretty nice, like with the flight director, in terms of what we can do to climb. And now we have air traffic. Okay, so it was just a bug. Thank God, look at that. Now we have some Frontier aircraft stuff around us. Okay, that's good. I don't know how it would be affected by the Orbex thing, but I guess if you had the BGL files somehow. Oh well, let's see. Everything's set. I do though want to mention that the Orbex team were really supportive, and they even gave me some free products to kind of make up for that error. So great developers overall. I really recommend them thoroughly. And I speak highly of them. I mean, in terms of their customer support, is just unmatched within the flight sim community. Very friendly and hands-on kind of approach. But okay, let's go. 24,000 feet. We're gonna slam these throttles down. Oh, I thought our engines were stopping there for a second, but okay, maybe we don't need to go full up in terms of our thrust. Okay, airspeed live. Okay, let's see. How much do you need to take off? Can you already at 100? Ah, that was sufficient. So quite low takeoffs. I'm gonna trim it a bit to get a bit better characteristics, but in terms of my own flying. Gears up. Let's do the taxi lights off. Flaps are up. We are flying now, following the flight path. Very nice, actually very nice. And just let me just see. Yeah, here you can see the auto jump problem I was talking about. This can be fixed. You just need to tweak the right file. It's always like that with some of these. So just some auto gen missing. It won't probably ever be perfect, but you know, it would be nice, but a bit nicer. Let's add a bit more torque or thrust. I'm gonna put the elevator trim a bit down.
Departure on 119.2, wheels up 4003.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. There we go. So yeah, if we're flying, you can see the surroundings. Very nice. It's nice weather.
Flight level 240.
Let me just check though that my settings are correct, because yeah, okay, they are correct. We have enhanced atmospherics. Good, very good. But just no clouds in sight, which I guess could be a good thing or a setting. I think it's kind of fun to fly through clouds, right? It does add a bit of extra, what would you call it, extra flying skill, or you have to think a bit more. We don't have to fly with VNav. We could have set up a VNav path, but I think we'll suffice to fly with the vertical speed. We can still do that, of course, for the descent if you would want. Okay, let's see. So it's going quite nice. Just flying, trying to maintain our pitch here in line with the flight director. can try actually the autopilot. So autopilot in command. Let me just see. 1,500 should be
Center on
sufficient.
125.4,
We
take
have
clear
a
wheels up
speed set,
4003.
or sorry, speed a altimeter set. I don't think there's any form of
Center wheels up 4003, climbing to flight level 240.
no auto throttle or similar. So be aware. Anything else? Here we have the fuel. Following quite good, the autopilot. Nothing crazy. A pretty beautiful, small-ish aircraft. This is gonna probably be one of the smallest one that I'll fly at least somewhat regularly on this channel. I might do some general aviations at some points. It's not my most fun, but I like to do, you know, just to try things out, right? Maybe different airports or similar. But this one I do like, because it's like just on the cusp of being kind of an airliner. You can at least feel like you're one, or play like you're one. Immerse yourself as one. Very nice, you know, seeing the wing here, the engine. At least you'll be able to quickly diagnose any problem if one of the engines starts having troubles. You won't be like, oh, is it the left or right one? Okay, we're going to USI, 0.0 nautical miles. We're climbing, albeit slowly, but getting higher and higher.
Gentlemen, we have now passed 2,000 feet and turn off larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight. Do not form a line near the last point.
Let me see. Okay, still climbing. There's some nice scenery though to watch. Looking pretty good. It's very nice to fly here in Phoenix. I guess if you go a bit north, you'll get to the Grand Canyon, right? So let's see, we're climbing a bit to. Let's do it 1,200 maybe. Yeah, if you go a bit north from here, because we're flying now. Well, north should be there, right? At least I think this is the living airports. Photo reel is very nice. It's the best photoreal autogen combination that I've seen with like their own packages compared to True Earth. It's not far off. I think their coloring is more on point actually with their photoreal. And I mean the buildings might not be as good, but they are pretty good. You won't get as many, I think. What should we call them? Specific kind of buildings, like unique buildings, but you'll get a pretty good package. but it's very nice. As you can see, it's very lovely to fly. I mean, when you have this, at least for me, it's not been like a top priority for Microsoft Flight Sim just for the scenery, right? And I have too many planes to fly anyway. I think the problem is, of course, in terms of the viability of P3D, is that they would need a solution that gives you this without having to pay thousands of extra dollars, or you know, a few extra dollars for the place you want to be at and fly at. Let's see. I'm gonna check actually the manual quickly because I just want to know. So takeoff speeds, we could have gotten that. I mean, we're at 14,000, so that's like around 106 in the VR. Oh no, in plus degrees, like we had now, it's 107, but yeah, kind of the same. In terms of, let's see what they have otherwise. Do you have any other limitations or similar? It's also nice to note that it has the true glass effects. You'll see rain on the windscreens and and stuff, so that really makes it even nicer to fly. I did some test flights at Vagar, Faroe Islands, and those were really fun. A lot of clouds and the rain. Let me just see. And I guess this is auto ignition for the engines, right? So if it's constant ignition during turbulence or flight in icing or precipitation conditions, that's how you pronounce that. Let me see, I just want to check what the cruise kind of steps are to do. God, it's very long, the pre-flight and engine starting. It's a very thorough manual. I'll show it quickly here just so you can see. It's a very thorough one. But I just want to see the cruise for takeoff. My God. Windshield anti-ice. That should probably be on, right? That does make. So window defog, we could put that on. I'm not sure if that's implemented as an actual item. And then let me see here. Windshield anti-ice could be normal, right? That would make sense. I guess those would remove a bit of our thrust, right? But that would demand quite some power. Let's go a bit lower on the vertical speed, and we can also set. Oh, maybe we can't push that. We'll just set that ourselves to standard. Okay, we'll have that standard. Not sure how you pull it. Push standard. Yeah, I haven't been able to do that. No luck. Climb, bleed air wall should be open, and environmental bleed air as required, so that's this one. It's on auto now. Yaw damper on. Climb power should be set. Let me see, the props should be pulled back a bit. So I was really pushing these props quite hard, right? I didn't think of that. I kept them in kind of the landing configuration. Oh, there is cabin signs on this one. Were they up here in terms of... No smoking? This one? Yeah, looks like there's some sounds there. Climbing, but a bit slower. We'll have to decrease our ascent rate a bit. Climb rate. Look at this beauty though. This is a beautiful aircraft. It's just very symmetrical somehow. Maybe not the most aesthetically pleasing. There is beautiful aircrafts, but it's a nice one. Let me see. What else? What else? What else? Cruise power set as desired. Okay. I guess we can keep it as it is now. Are these N1 values a bit high maybe? Maybe we can decrease that a bit. You can climb with 700 vertical. We have about 1 hour of flight time left, so it's gonna take a while. And with that said, I am quickly gonna pause just to I wanna wrap some things up. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, let's see. I wonder what amount of N1 value you can have in cruise, and I'm also wondering what the maximum cruise is. I'm actually gonna check quickly the Wikipedia for the ceiling. 35,000. Jesus, that's a very high ceiling. Let's see, low idle. Let's decrease a bit. Looks to be going pretty well. I'm gonna leave this in a nice, let's see if we have any nice viewpoints. This one is pretty good. Okay, let me leave it at this. I'll be back, you'll the captain now. Or I guess all of you are captain now. No, but hopefully, let's see. I think it should be able to stabilize itself. And then let's see.
Center on 125.25, wheels up 4003. Center wheels up 4003, climbing to flight level 240.
actually just quickly gonna switch the view because it's easier for me to monitor it once I come back. Let's see, we're getting quite nicely to our cruising altitude, so this should be good. Let's see if we can get a good viewpoint. Something like this should be pretty nice. Maybe a bit higher. There we go. And now it should hopefully arm itself and, or not arm itself, but find altitude and then go to altitude hold. We can actually quickly increase our climb rate. And there we go. Now it's aligning, so perfect. At least I think it is. Yeah, altitude capture, perfect.
Climb and maintain
Good.
flight level
Be right back.
240, wheels up 4003. Center on 134.65, wheels up 4003. Center wheels up 4003 and flight level 240. Expect the Spino 1 arrival with the Decus transition for the RNAV Yankee approach to runway 31 left with the Spino transition wheels up 4003. Cross Decus at or above 16,800 feet then descend via the Spino 1 arrival with the Decus transition to cross Spino at 9,000 feet. Altimeter is 29906 wheels up 4003. Center on 128.15 wheels up 4003. Center wheels up 4003 at flight level 240.
There we go. Let's see. I think I might have been a bit delayed, so let's see if we need to start our descent now. I'm gonna assume we do. Top of, oh yeah, there we, almost on time, but not quite. Let's do 16,000 to start off with. Let's start a bit shallow. Or maybe we can do 1,000, so we're not getting too delayed. Some other things that I try to think. Is there anything else that I should mention about this plane? Does seem like this one works quite well. I mean, this is such a higher quality FMC compared to the. Look at this. We even have the different the different altitude restrictions. I'm thinking about that. We could logically even put in the. Let me just check so I don't put it wrong. So it's on the right altitude. We should be at 16,800 at DCAS, which will be hard to achieve. But let's see. 1,300, 300 at cloud. 1,100 at Shubono. 9,000. There we go. That should be pretty good, I would say, at least. Speed, altitude limit, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we could let's have a look at the speeds. I'm wondering if the low idle could be used. Guess it wouldn't make too much of a difference. Maybe we can decrease the props a tiny bit. Let's keep it on high idle. I guess you want to keep low idle in certain circumstances. And we are now, I would say, we've crossed into. We might be just at the border, because here's the valley, right, that we're going to be landing in. So it's up from here, and there somewhere the airport will be. Well, let's see, I'm just going to jump quickly in, see if we can. We're still on, so let's try the VNav one now. So alt VNav path, we can put that down to 9,000 for now. So is the VNav a recommended one? Let me check the manual for this one. Coupled VNav. The user guide is not that in depth, so I'll give that's one critique I'll have. Otherwise the aircraft seems to function quite well. You do have all these with their non-workable switches, but basically all the other switches are working, so this is very high. Oh, actually talking about this, we do have the so this one should have been tweaked, right, in order to for the cabin pressure. So that's something I missed. So just be aware of that. Do tweak this to put it at the right altitude, so you get the right pressurization. Now let's have a quick look at the. We're about 10 minutes from our destination. We should be down at 13,000. Let me increase. So if we go directly to VNav, let me see, VBS. Oh, I guess we need to get back on the path in order to. We can gain a bit of speed. But let's see, we might be a bit high. Ubabe, that was like 13,000, right? Yeah, 13,300 will definitely be hitting that quite high. Do we have a prog page or similar? Data. I really need to learn this. Maybe watch some more videos on it myself. But we do have, if I'm not mistaken, right, you're supposed to have a arrival data, right? Yeah, arrival data. Yeah, you're supposed to have that. VAS, required provider. Okay, so can you change here runway elevation? We get those. Angle on the GP, can we get that? I'm sorry, now I'm basically completely not looking at the flight itself. Let me just see, I need to find it on ChartFox as well. Let's see quickly, did we get any? We got descent to 16,000 to 9,000 feet. Okay, so 9,000 is. Let me just put. We were at 9. That was not. That was not planned. Apparently, I think the same as the ADC. In terms of the glide slope, 3.5. Maybe this one is. Oh, okay. Maybe not completely. Or maybe I'm misreading, maybe that's just red data. Okay, what's this one? This one should be 11,000, 9,000. And how low should we be able to go? Let me just check quickly on Pilot to ADC as well. 2,900, and is that aligned with what we have here? 2,900. Okay, so we can continue descent via the approach. There we go. Okay, let's see. We do have a bit too high speed now, unfortunately. So I'm gonna pull back a bit on the throttles. That does seem to do the trick quite well. You can keep the the descent rate. You just need to pull back quite a bit on the throttles.
KPSP approach to runway 31 left with the Spino transition wheels up 4003.
Let's descend with 2000. 2200 maybe. We're definitely gonna be very, we might be very high actually. Luckily it's a very beautiful approach. This is definitely the true Earth. Now, I think the closer we get it will be like the Orbex. You can see a bit of color difference here, which is the Palm Springs area. Even I guess here. I think it's photoreal though. Might be a bit older photoreal. Let's see, at VEM3 we should be at 7,500. Yeah, we're way too high. Let's pull back a bit more on the throttles without going further than idle. Hopefully this should help us a bit. We'll go to 2,500. Do we have any flap limitations though? I never checked that. Maximum flap 202 for approach. So we need to lose a bit of speed to engage the flaps. Do we have any speed brakes? Doesn't look like it. Which I guess makes sense. There would have been a lever or something of that sort. Oh, you can press here to get the... Let me see, what's this chart? Ah, look at that select chart. That's pretty cool. How do I get rid of this though? Da, da, da. I guess I have it here, so it's not the end of the world, but maybe with this one I can. Yeah, you can move that. Chart subscription. Okay, so you can choose between these different settings, right? Okay, so let's say I want to pick this. How do you select something here then? Okay, I'm getting a bit of a lag. I hate when they make it difficult to follow. But okay, I think we should be fine. Let's decrease our descent rate a bit. We're at Ryok. I think we're quite fine actually. It's quite easy to lose the speed. Oh, there we go. And here we have the checklists, right? And here we can get that back. Okay, good. There we go. Let's see, are we losing enough speed yet? One thing we need to do, if I'm not mistaken, for the landing, we need to go full with both these levers. We can go to flaps on approach. I wonder if you need any flaps on takeoff. As you can see, it's very nice views here. It's very nice scenery by Orbex.
Tower wheels up 4003 inbound for RNAV approach runway 31 left.
I'll add a bit of thrust.
Continue RNAV approach to runway 31 left will call when established on final wheels up 4003.
Okay, and now it seems like we are following the VNav. I'm just gonna give a bit more thrust so we maintain. So we do actually maintain our altitude. We went a bit too low, just because I really didn't have enough thrust or torque or whatever you want to call it. Anything else that should go on? What's the fuel levels? Okay, they have been decreasing on both, but they're very stable. We have lots of fuel. We'll be turning right very shortly. Looks like a very nice place to live, Palm Springs. And we have these nice mountains. It's always nice with approaches in mountains, or at least I tend to prefer them compared to just the flat landings or the flat surroundings. Even though usually my flights are to flat surroundings, for better or worse. Okay, let me see. Where's actually the windshield wipers on this? Oh, here it is. And those are with the true light, or what are they called? True glass. So the TFDI one, which is pretty good, works pretty well. I'm gonna guess if the takeoff is at around 100, if we're doing a full flaps landing, we're a bit less on weight. It's probably around 90. And now I'm just guessing based on what I think it should be, but let's see. And now we're descending with the VNav path, so you can see it changed from the alt to V path. And it's aligning here with both, I guess, the glide and the rest. In terms of our minimums, did I close that already? Must have by mistake. So KPSP, we have a minimum of 780. Didn't set that in either. Let's try to remember. I also didn't set the altimeter, right? Which is not good considering we are in the US flying. 2995, that should be set at 18,000. Okay, but not too huge of a discrepancy. Okay, I'll throttle back a bit. And let me see, I haven't found the best viewpoints. I think this might be... Okay, so we can go autopilot off. Maybe we should have actually put on the approach mode, right? If it's a RNAV. We know the missed approach procedures. It's straight and then to the right because it's following a specific flight plan, which I think we had in here, so we do have that in case it would be needed. We're landing at 31 left, which should be that one, aka the one on the, no sorry, the one on the right. The one on the right, that's the one we're landing at. The other one is 31 right. No, sorry, 31 left. The other one is 31 right, which is not the one we're landing at. Okay, let's see. We can go flaps full. We need to trim this. We have quite a high pitch, which isn't wrong, of course. Better if we want to land with our back wheels. We can drop the landing gear now. That will induce some drag. While at the same time I'm just gonna add a bit of thrust. We seem to be a bit low based on the poppies, but nothing too crazy. It's a very fun aircraft to fly, this one. Just the handling feels pretty great. And it's a beautiful one as well. It's a beauty. Most aircrafts are pretty beautiful. I guess there's some exceptions like the Beluga and other ones. The Stratocruiser, the version with that looks like the Beluga. I guess the predecessor to the Beluga, or maybe the predecessor to the Dreamlifter rather. But yeah. Okay, we're a bit low.
Clear to land runway 31 left wheels up 4003.
If you have any recommendations on how to fly this plane, just feel free to put them down in the comments. I'm eager to learn more, different procedures or similar. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's like 80 knots is kind of the limit. Okay, we should soon be reaching our minimums. Minimums, continue. I think we're okay. Maybe a bit low. I don't know if these poppies are 100% correct. It's around 480, the runway. So maybe we're a bit low, just a tad bit. Now we're about 100 above. Okay, let's see. We have a bit of a wind from the right. I'm gonna try to keep this one. Let's see. Let's push that left rudder a bit. Yeah, there we go. That should give us some reversers. We can brake as well. Should help a bit. Look at that. Look at that. That's how you brake quickly. Yeah, probably overstressed the brakes there, but we can live with that. Let's see if we can park. There we go, so they're not in our path. And let's just give a bit of idle thrust. And I just realized that we totally forgot to do anything with the lights. Landing lights on the full flight, yeah. That's not how we want to fly this. We do want to keep those on. Yeah, not my best flight. I had to take care of some stuff. You know, it's now Christmas decoration, so it was first Halloween, but now it's Christmas, right? So you need to keep the missus happy. But yeah, I mean, very well handling aircraft. So you know, even if it's me flying it, making normal types of mistakes, it's still a fun kind of very like, how to say, not forgiving, I guess. No aircraft is forgiving. I mean, some are more, right? But I guess this one, didn't seem to have any kind of faults. It did what it's supposed to do. Now let's see. Do we have any aircrafts here? Let me just check quickly with a new view. I just want to see if it's working. Oh.
Tower United 1243 visual to Ava.
United 1243 tower continue.
Continue 1243.
Let me actually open a little nav map. Because I've been a bit worried about the AI not functioning as I would want it to do. So we're now at KPSP, and this is a good way to check your AI, right? So you can see here we're at Palm Springs. Just gonna close these other ones. Here's our aircraft. There's an American flying. So we should see it. Or no, we should probably not. What was the altitude of that plane? 35,000 feet. Oh, where's the majority of these aircrafts then? Sticking it out. That's my main question, because we should have like a lot of them spawned in. Oh well, not the end of the world. Let's taxi in and then yeah, maybe I'll have to reinstall AIG if I'm really fortunate. Where do we want to taxi? Looks like there's a nice get-together going on here in the front. So let's go here to the museum and just, you know, just park over here. Hey, look at that. I think that we have enough of a wing. No. No, we should have been more in the middle. Come on. Come on. God damn it. Broke our... And now we're gonna decapitate this lady. Yeah, we don't need the flaps at... oh. Yeah, we don't wanna... Haven't gotten used to the way the reversers work, right? We should put this at idle. Which I guess is there. And then... I guess you would want to have the GPU connected. And then you would be able to connect it. And then what you would do is, I guess, shut the engines. Oh yeah, but you would do it by going with the... by going to the fuel cutoff position, right? Not with the prop. Sometimes I forget how these turboprops work. And didn't we have... There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. Well, I guess these can go to the off position. No, there shouldn't be a problem, right? And let's see, we got the boarding already. 32, yeah, fine. Unsafe takeoff. Yeah, I did a lot of small mistakes with this one. I'll have to redo a flight with the King Air at some point in the future to make up for it. Let's actually remove the GPU. I don't want it to follow us on the... We got landing clearance, right? Did they ask us to say established on final? Yeah, they did. And we didn't even ask for taxi, right? So some small mistakes here then, not our best flight, but I guess good enough. Let's have a look now at, we can go a bit further back. Let's go 400 sec. So yeah, would have been nicer to see the engines running, but this will work. So yeah, let's consider that this Orbex scenery here for Calm Springs is very old. But it's still very, very good scenery. But it's probably changed a lot compared to how it looked back when this, or back when Palm Springs still, or yeah, when this, or what this was based on, right? In terms of the photoreal or the airport at that time. So there's probably been some changes. Okay, let's see now. I think we get down. Oh, touch there with the left and the right, but it's quite a smooth landing. I'll give myself an A minus for that. Pretty good. I mean, apart from all the forgetting about the lights and stuff, that's the minus, right? Not really flying it as it should have been flown. And then my parking here at the museum, yeah, that's instant minus points. But yeah, let me just close, so I'm gonna keep it here. I want to do some testing after the video. But yeah, hopefully enjoyed this very short, well, not very short, quite normal length, 2 hours. But yeah, maybe not my most, my finest flight, but, or I mean the aircraft did well. But yeah, I wasn't able to put too much thought into this flight as I should have. But yeah, if you have any comments, you know, any input on how to fly this aircraft, you know, different procedures and stuff, feel free to put them down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll not see you guys, but you'll hear me next time. I guess that would be the proper way to word that. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and have a good rest of the day. Bye bye.